This is the Squeaky Bum Time Podcast, a CFCP production with Mike and Laurent.
Back, and we are alone. Mike couldn't join me. I had to do some daddy daycare duties. Lisa went out. So I am here to do a solo pod preview, review, lots and lots and lots and lots of football going on. So this week was the return of the most famous, popular, valuable football competition in the world, the Champions League. Our friends Liverpool, City, Manchester United, and Chelsea are the Premier League participants. They fared as follows. Manchester United had a huge win versus PSG. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did a great job defensively against PSG. PSG keep having problems with coaches, but Paris Saint-Germain. But it's the players. They take the personality of Neymar, and Neymar is a slacker who thinks he's bigger than the game, so they lose. And United won 3-1. Really good performance by them. They changed it up. Ole was great. So they avoid the crisis. They avoid their problems until the next time. So, you know, Ole seems to be great when his back's against the wall. City won 3-1. It was a pedestrian kind of game. They were not fluid, but City got it done against Porto. Porto got a goal early, but really they were just okay, and City wore them down and were able to get good goals from Foden assisting Ferran Torres, and a wonder goal, a really good free kick from wonder goal is a little strong. A really good free kick from Gundogan and a goal from Aguero on a penalty to level things early on. Liverpool got a good result, a team result, a strong result, a 1-0 result on an own goal. I didn't watch the game, but it sounded from it sounded from the commentary that they struggled because, you know, they're dealing with the loss of Van Dijk, they're dealing with a bad loss, you know, they're hurting right now. So Fabinho went into center back. He may be their answer. He's a really good player. He can do it. He actually cleared a ball off the line. Ajax were good, but Liverpool's too strong there. And it was a little bit of a weird game where players are moved in and out. So games coming thick and fast. The bigger headline was Real Madrid losing to Shakhtar. All City fans know Shakhtar Donetsk is really fucking good. And if you come with low energy and low effort, you lose. And Marcelo, the famous part of the back four for Real Madrid, was poor. No Sergio Ramos, no party for Real Madrid. So that's the other big game. Lots of other things. I don't want to go through all of them. It looks like the best team in Europe is Bayern Munich. They smashed Atletico Madrid. But on the eve of that tournament coming out, on the back of Project Big Picture, where the Premier League teams proposed a breakaway, we had another proposed breakaway of the European Premier League. So this is a long-time dream that the big clubs use as a cudgel to try and extract more and more value from their leagues or from the Champions League, that the biggest clubs in the world between 18 and 20 will leave and create their own Premier League, replacing the Champions League, and they just play. And again, this comes down to, money and wealth, and trying to create a closed or more predictable revenue stream, more similar to American sports than European sports. I showed Mike the most valuable leagues in the world. They're all the American leagues. So the NFL, MLB, NBA are the highest revenue generating leagues in the world. The fourth league is the Premier League. So I'm not going to go into the particulars of it before the preview, but I just think it's fascinating to think about it from our American perch that we live. How difficult this is for Europeans to even understand. They're like, what do you mean you are trying to make money? What do you mean you're going to break away? What do you mean? How is this possible? How can you do this? As though these are not business entities. So it's really hard. There's just a different mentality. As Americans, we're so used to our sports being about money that this seems so bizarre that they're even thinking about it. Maybe we're just beaten down. Maybe it's capitalism. Maybe it's less community. And I think the bigger picture for me, and I wonder if we open this up and I'll talk to Mike about it, maybe he can chime in on Monday, is what is the purpose of sport? What is it for? What is the purpose of professional sports? I think that's really the big question. If it's just entertainment, then it's Hollywood, right? And there is the argument within Hollywood, within film is it commercial? Is it art? Is there room for both? And I think that is the question I think football in Europe is asking itself. Is it a community institution, a soccer team, a club? Or is it something for the owner or the owners or whatever they are to maximize revenue in the time they own the team? That's the question. I don't know the answer to that. Clearly, the Europeans are having a hard time with it because the overwhelming majority of the feedback for any of these changes is like, you will destroy football. That's it. It's all over. We know as Americans that that's not true because we've been gouged with seat licenses and pay-per-view for boxing and whatever. Where are they going to go? What are they going to watch instead on Saturday? I just don't understand. So it is hard for Europeans to sort of get this, but I guess we're used to it. It's bizarre. Maybe I haven't watched football long enough. But these are other questions. But again, it comes down to that fundamental question of what is the purpose of sport? Are they public institutions that are there to bind communities together, or are they purely entertainment? Or are they both? Is it art? Is it commerce? Is it just for about winning or how you win? These are all questions that I ask. So I open that up, and I think that's an interesting question. But again, the Premier League's back. The games are flying thick and fast. Oh, I should mention, Europa League was on Thursday. Arsenal won, and Tottenham won. They are in that second-rate European League for teams that are... Anyway, we'll talk about the Europa League another time. But your weekend looks like this. Tomorrow, Aston Villa, Premier League leading Aston Villa, take on new boys, Leeds United, in a real clash. This should be good. So this is Leeds. We've been talking about it. Bielsa and Aston Villa, who have my boy Jack Grealish. This is an opportunity to really have a Friday night, a big game, a chance to show the world what it's about. Hopefully, I mean, Leeds has been floundering, not getting results, but we will see what Aston Villa are made of. They beat Liverpool 7-2. Let's see what they can do against Bielsa. Then, in order, the early Saturday game is West Ham versus Manchester City. City have dominated this fixture, especially when we go to London. It's been really easy for us to play, but we're not in our best form. City are not in their best form, and West Ham are coming off the miraculous 3-3 draw against Spurs, where they scored 3 goals in the final 10 minutes, and Lanzini scored. We talked about it extensively in our review show, so this should be a good matchup. Then we have Fulham, Crystal Palace. Fulham are going down. Crystal Palace need this game. If Crystal Palace are going to try and stay in the league, they need to beat Fulham because Fulham are terrible. Then at 9:30, 12:30 game, the afternoon game on Saturday is Man United, Chelsea. Man United quelled the Bluebirds with the win versus Newcastle. That was an easy match. Chelsea also had their own dropped points in a 3-3 game, but this one was different because Southampton are better and they got it. They also got a goal from Theo Walcott off of Vesterberg to tie it at 3-3. Chelsea still weak at the back. Man United, this will be a game that Man United will actually fancy itself because they will let Chelsea have the ball and hit them on the counter. The problem for Man United is not when they come against big teams, they have a way to play. It's when they have to beat small teams that they don't have a way to play, and they basically rely on penalties. I don't know how they do it, but they manage to get in a box and then throw themselves on the ground. Liverpool have the perfect opportunity to get back on track against Sheffield. Sheffield are not scoring goals at all, so Liverpool should have a chance here. Southampton-Everton on Sunday is the first game of the day. That should be a good one. Southampton, I really like. Everton coming off the draw against Liverpool should be in decent shape. Newcastle Wolves, don't care. Arsenal Leicester City, this is a game for the cool kids to watch. I would expect a good game here. These two teams are pretty evenly matched. Arsenal and Leicester. This will all depend on whether Jamie Vardy is available. He's been out. And Brighton West Brom need to take points. I feel like this is a game that Brighton needs to win if they want to stay in the Premier League. I love them. I love Graham Potter. I've been talking about him over and over again. But my guy, you got to get W's. And lastly, Spurs play Burnley. We'd expect Spurs to beat Burnley, especially the way they've been playing lately, especially with Kane as a number 10. If he plays that funny little role, he'll do great. He'll do great. So I'm going to wrap this up. This is a very short, sweet, and beautiful episode without my friend Mike. I miss him. We'll just wrap it up here for the preview. I don't have anything else. And
the Squeaky Bum Time Podcast with Mike Salerno and Laurent Cortines. This was a Crap Football, Crap Pundit production. We will return on Mondays and Thursdays for the Premier League season. We will talk about soccer and other things that interest us. Mike is crazy. Laurent is insane. That's why it works.